What's up, guys? Let's make a little magic. Thank you guys for tuning in. I'm your host, Rico Suave, and I want to talk about 21 people shot in a violent weekend in New Orleans. Over the weekend, 21 people were reported shot. And we have this really weird wave of violent shootings in New Orleans, and a lot of people don't really want to address it. Let me say this. I was outside painting, and I get a lot of requests and a lot of questions in the comment section on both Facebook and on YouTube. And like on Facebook in my timeline, NOLA.com put out this article that 21 people were shot. See, I live by the airport, and I don't know. I'm going to give you an idea where I live at. If you go to Texas in Houston, outside of Houston is a place called Missouri City, which basically, let's just say I live outside of New Orleans, like literally a 15-minute drive across the borderline. So if I go out of town, I'll say I live in New Orleans, but I live in Metairie, Louisiana. New Orleans is our closest major city. New Orleans has a really big culture of violence. So much so that when we have a party or a second line, a SWAT team, like this big ass giant black army tank looking thing. I'm not joking. This big black army tank looking thing shows up and it watches the citizens. So we have this maybe like 4 years ago, these two brothers got into like a full blown shootout at one of these little marching second line things, and uh, I'll say that to say that that's part of this violence culture that I'm talking about, and it's not even fun, man. It's like it's in the music, it's in the food, it's in the atmosphere, it's in the water, it's in the leadership. It's like in everything. It's in the architecture, it's in the food, the drinking, the partying, and the educational system. It's like in the fucking DNA of the city of New Orleans to be as ignorant and violent as it is. And the sad thing about the city of New Orleans, I'm giving you my fucking word, what people love about New Orleans is unfortunately what we don't like about New Orleans. If that, you know what I'm saying? Like a girl said it best. She said, "What we don't like about New Orleans is what makes the city unique." If that makes sense. One of these tourist kind of girls. She said, "I like coming here because New Orleans has a third world aspect to it." I don't know what the fuck that means, but I'm telling you, when I'm in the French Quarter, there's little kids on bicycles just roaming the French Quarter sometime during school hours. Then you have, like almost no jobs. Automation is taking jobs away. This everybody and their mama want to be an Uber driver. Then you have like literally just these guys, man, to where like I'm trying to describe it in a way that makes sense where I don't really offend nobody, and I just can't really say it without being offensive. It's just like when you look at this blighted homes. There's no like programs for home buyers out here anymore. The economy is fucked up. I mean, now that Donald Trump is in office, everybody seems to be upset. The Saints didn't make it to the Saints didn't get the Super Bowl this year. People are upset about that. I mean, it's just a panoply of stuff, man. The police force is crooked. The police force is corrupt. New Orleans Police Department was so corrupt back in the 90s. I remember on the Discovery Channel. The Discovery Channel had to do like one of those HBO undercover kind of thing with it. Like we had a consent decree where it was so bad where some of our cops got arrested. I remember, as a matter of fact, like maybe 3 weeks ago, a recruit got arrested for murder. This nigga, he was a recruit, and he got arrested. So it's one of the things where just that, it would really take somebody like me, Dr. Umar, Boyce Watkins, and just, I mean, all of these real. Because I'm gonna tell you something. The crime in New Orleans, all these shootings is black on black crime, and yes, you're gonna have crime where you live. If you live in a hood, you will have black people committing crime against each other. New Orleans is a majority black city. It's a liberal city, and with that being the case, we focus mostly on feel good legislation, not as far legislation that has teeth in it that gets forward progress where people actually can see stuff happening. You have all these really weird charter schools popping up. The teachers don't seem to give a shit. The parents don't really, they don't really interact. I mean, and the parents can only really do what they can do. for the most part, and it's going to take a shit load of work. I'm talking work on the atomic level. I got two boys, and I wrestle with them little niggas every day. I'm telling you what I know. My son outside fucking around. I gotta drag his ass back home tonight to do homework. I gotta get ready for the DMV tomorrow. I mean, it's just so many problems. We absolutely are not our brother's keepers in the city. That's the hard part about New Orleans. That all the organizations in the city that could do good for the citizens. I mean, like the black men. I mean, I think they had a company or organization back when Master P lived in New Orleans called the 100 Black Men. And the 100 Black Men, I don't really know what they did. But when you are part of I'm a Freemason. And the Masonic Brotherhood, they do things as far as like, food drive, turkeys for Thanksgiving, bicycles, stuff like that for Christmas. But it's going to require a lot of men, and I may actually just be the guy to do it. I mean, I don't know if you can see my face. I don't never go to sleep. I look like shit right now. I ain't shaving. None. I got glitter. I don't know where the fuck this even coming from. But it's going to take a shit load of work to change the culture of New Orleans. And there's going to be people who live here who benefit from the culture. It's going to fight the change tooth and nail, and that's gonna be our dilemma. But it's a brutal.
Someone need help fixing a bike.
I don't need no help fixing the bike. What you looking for? Some YouTube attention. Look, now get out of here. Anyway, I'm not fixing that bike. I'm sorry. I'm doing the video now. So.
No, someone need help fixing their motorbike.
Oh, I don't fix motorbikes. Anyway, so that was just part of my thoughts, my rant for the day on the city of New Orleans, man. Just I'm talking about it's going to take a lot. I mean, we have a new mayor. The old mayor is gone. We have this really big Confederate deal, and that's another thing. There's a big racial tension in the city between the white people and the black people, and even some of other white people have their own little civil war going on, what I'm saying, between each other with like folks who want the Confederate monuments down, and the Mardi Gras cruise just recently was throwing these little like bamboozled looking trinkets. That was like the revenge that certain Mardi Gras cruise was throwing to black people, specifically reaching to black people. The fuck is this glitter? Reaching to black people in bubble wrap, and that's how they did it. I might do a video on Mardi Gras soon. I work in Mardi Gras, and I'm trying not to burn no bridges because that's my bread and butter. But since I don't work for any of the top 5 crews, I probably can speak the truth without really offending my customer base, so to speak. But let me tell you something. New Orleans got a fucked up issue with race in this city, bro. And it's classism big time. You have the light skinned blacks hate the dark blacks. And we have this really retarded, this fucking stupid division. And this is, black people doing stupid stuff where this is how New Orleans works. For you, I was gonna get off, but let me go right quick. Gotta get the fuck out of here. Okay, we have something called wards. It's like the 9th ward, the 10th ward, 7th ward is Saint Bernard. Then you have the 9th ward. You got the, I guess, 3rd ward, Pigeon Town, stuff like that. For some odd reason, the people who live in New Orleans have like a self-segregation where if you live in the Magnolia Projects, I hate you. And if we work in the same job, I hate you because you live in the Magnolia Projects. B.W. Cooper Projects got renamed something else. So it's like all these retarded, like, civil wars against black people who just, by no fault of their own, when the parents move in a new project and you are a newcomer and you moved in from a rival project, they fight over it. And it's, a lot of what's happening is drug related. We have dudes, young men on drugs, young dudes, bisexuality. Now, I mean, a lot of this killing, I'm not even lying to y'all. A lot of the killing is all these little dudes we call fuck boys, where the dudes get younger and younger. A dude just now, bro, just turned 21 years old, killed somebody holding a baby, killed another dude who was holding a baby in his arms at a Mardi Gras parade. So it's just like, dude, people in New Orleans have no love for life. It's the young people, and the fathers are gone. The fathers are locked up, and I mean, it's just mass incarceration, mass bullshit. Niggas getting traffic tickets. I mean, you could be. Picture this: you already broke. You working at Taco Bell, Popeyes, at a hotel, just doing any funky ass job. Your take home pay might be $360 a week. You watching TV on a Fire Stick, and you get $160 camera ticket because you went over the speed limit. And so it's just one of those things. You got all that stress on top of you, bro, and that shit will explode. And and the way it I don't know, man. It plays out as gonna, at violence. People just got to kill something. You got to kill somebody. I mean, you can't really kill a politician, which I don't advocate that you do. I'm not saying good or bad, right or wrong, but you ask most of the guys who kill, and a lot of them was just like, it's disrespect. I mean, anything can be considered disrespect. Looking at you the wrong way, stepping on your shoes, even after saying excuse me. Somebody having a bad day, I'm gonna kill somebody for it.
How do you know it's here?
I don't know. He gone. Anyway, guys, hit like, share, and subscribe. Also, don't forget to comment in the comment section below. Those are my thoughts and opinions. So next time, take care of yourself.